And we will do Okuden level 2. It's also called part A of Hiroshi Doi's exercise in sensing the Reiki energy. So very first and foremost, we want to call in Master Yusui's energy. And this is very much a respect aspect of the Japanese way of doing things. First, this is Master Yusui's creation, invention. We're respecting his contribution to the world of Reiki and asking him essentially to bless the experience that we're having. So take a couple of deep breaths and just ground and center yourself and call in Master Yusui's energy. Ask him to be present and to share his energy with you. Kind of like when you call in your own Reiki guides. And I want you to take note of how Master Yusui's energy feels physically in your body. And then how does it feel in your mind? And how does Master Yusui's energy feel in your emotions? And how does Master Yusui's feeling or energy feel in your soul? Just take a couple of breaths with his energy. And if you want to, you can take some notes in your journal. We'll take 4 more breaths with him. And now thank Master Yusui for his presence and his energy. And then you're going to call in the focus symbol energy. Chokurei in its original counterclockwise form. You don't need to draw the symbol. You don't need to say the kotudama. You want to connect with the feeling of the energy of Chokurei only. Ask the symbol to share this feeling with you. And again, take note of how the energy feels physically in your body. Then take note of how Chokurei feels in your mind. Now take note of how Chokure feels in your emotions. Now take note of how Chokure feels in your soul. Now we'll take 3 more breaths, just experiencing the energy of Chokure. Now, having taken note of Chokure, send that feeling to the side. Keep it close, but focus your attention on the harmony symbol energy. Sei Heiki. Don't draw the symbol. Don't say the Kotudama. Simply connect with the feelings of the energy of Sei Heiki. Now take note of how Sei-Heiki feels in your body. And take note of how Sei-Heiki feels in your mind. And take note of how Sei-Heiki feels in your emotions. And take note of how Sei-Heiki feels in your soul. Now just take 3 breaths to continue to feel the energy of Sei-Heiki. Now you're going to blend the energy from focus, from Chokure that you had built up, into harmony, Seiheki. So blend Chokure into Seiheki. And breathe in this new blended energy. Feel the energy of the two symbols coming together to create a new vibration. Connect with the feelings of the new blended energy. And take note of how this new energy feels physically in your body. And take note of how this new blended energy feels in your mind. And take note of how this new blended energy feels in your emotions. And take note of how this new blended energy feels in your soul. And now take 3 breaths to just feel and incorporate the new energy. Now put this new feeling aside. Close by, and bring your attention to the connection symbol energy, Han Shaze Shonen. Don't draw the symbol or say the Kotudama. Simply ask to connect to the feelings of the energy of Han Shaze Shonen. Take note of how the energy of Han Shaze Shonen feels physically in your body. Take note of how Han Shaze Shonen feels in your mind. Take note of how Han Shaze Shonen feels in your emotions. And take note of how Han Shaze Shonen feels in your soul. And now take 3 breaths to feel the energy of Han Shaze Shonen. Now we're going to take the blended energy of Chokurei and Chokurei and Seihei Ki, and we're going to blend them together into the energy of Han Shaze Shonen. So taking the already blended energy and now blending it into Han Shaze Shonen. And then take a moment to really connect with the feeling of this newer blended energy. Take note of how the new blended energy feels physically in your body. Take note of how the new blended energy feels in your mind. Take note of how the new blended energy feels in your emotions. Take note of how the new blended energy feels in your soul. And now take 3 breaths just to feel this blended energy in your body. So this is the end of the Okuden exercise, but we'll move straight into the Shinpiden exercise, or part B. which means we now bring in the empowerment symbol energy, the daikomyo. So again, don't draw the symbol, don't say the kotodama. Simply ask the symbol to show you the feelings of the energy. Take note of how the energy of daikomyo feels in your body. Take note of how daikomyo feels in your mind. And take note of how daikomyo feels in your emotions. And take note of how daikomyo feels in your soul. Now take 3 breaths to feel the energy of daikomyo. Now we're going to blend the blended energies of focus, harmony, and connection together with the energy of empowerment. So the blended energy of the 3 level 2 symbols now blended in with daikomyo. And connect with the feelings of the new blended energy of all 4 symbols together. And take note of how the energy of the blended symbols feels in your body. And take note of how the blended energies feel in your mind. And take note of how the blended energies feel in your emotions. And take note of how the four blended energies feel in your soul. And now take 3 breaths to feel the blended energy of all 4 symbols. And so this is the way that we would incorporate the symbols in some Japanese classes. Eventually you just think empowerment, which is the combination of all 4 symbols together, and you get this massive flow of all the different rays of Reiki together in this big whoosh of Reiki energy.